I have such a nice AC now.
So, when we last left off, you guys had somehow survived the death house. Okay, so technically two of you did not survive the death house. Two of you got eaten by a shambling mound, but when the other three came out of the death house, they discovered that the two that had died had been deposited back outside, and something was going on with the weird tattoos that everyone has on their hands. The two that died, their tattoos slid the hour hand down to where the three would normally be. Uh, you decided that it was time to head to the local shop and the tavern, and discovered that the shop was grossly overpriced. Uh, the shopkeeper was polite, but clearly was trying to get every last coin you have off of you.
Yeah.
Some of you went to the tavern and had a chance to speak a bit with the tavern owners. And then the pie salesman, or saleswoman really, came down the street and a pie was bought and given to Kale, who promptly ate it and fell asleep, having the most wonderful of dreams on a bar stool or seat. You guys had to cart him off to bed.
Mhm.
So you guys have had a long rest as a result of this.
And I infused some magic items. And it's the beginning of the day, so.
So, Kale, who do you think you'd probably be in the same room with you? Anyone? Or would you get?
I would just imagine that they left him on the bar floor.
I was gonna say, Layla would have offered to watch over him just because she knew this was a bad idea. Kind of feels bad.
Yeah, since elves really don't sleep, they trance, so this is him being essentially asleep. It's weird. But yes, Kale, of course, it takes him 6 hours. Or normally, trance is like for only 4, but after 6 hours, he pops awake with. You said there was something you wanted to say as you woke up.
He just sits up and is like, kind of looks around and he's like, "Oh, it was such a wonderful dream." That, unless prompted to ask why his dream was wonderful, he would not.
I'm sorry, I just want to verify. I'm in the room with him, yeah?
Yes. You said
Okay.
you were going to sit over him, so
Yeah, okay. Cool.
and it's been 6 hours, so you probably been through your own trance and
Mhm.
everything.
Yeah. Do you feel okay? You feel fine?
Feel
Ready?
perfectly fine.
Good.
What was that thing? Where did that human get that thing?
Um, uh, uh, it's not important. I don't know. I wasn't there. But you're okay though, right? You feel okay?
Nods. He's like, yes, it was wonderful. It was probably the best thing that's happened to me since I left home.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. Okay. Well, uh, sorry, I didn't know if you would want to share a room. I just wanted to make sure you were acting a little funny last night.
He just like cocks an eyebrow. Funny, like just the passing out funny, or
Uh, I don't know. My memory's foggy. I was drowsy. I don't remember what happened. We should, I'm gonna go downstairs. Uh, if you're okay, bye. Just avoiding. taking any responsibility for what happened. Just gonna dash out the room.
Seem upset at all. He actually looks a lot more relaxed than he had upon first meeting everyone.
Ollara, what are you up to now that you're awake from your trance?
You're sitting down in the bar waiting for people to come downstairs.
So you would be able to see Layla heading down the stairs then?
I'll nod to her as she comes down the stairs.
Hey, how are you? Did you sleep well?
Well, I don't sleep, but
Well,
I trance well.
sure. Same here. Do you have any idea what we're gonna do?
I think we need to help that person bury his father.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. But I mean, in the long term,
I don't know. What does a toy do when they have nothing else to do? Just sit around and wonder what else?
I'm sure he'll find something for us to do, I guess.
Like, what time of day is it? Is it like middle of the night? Like, what?
It's probably like
Really early morning?
I'm gonna say 2 in the morning at this point.
Be doing because everybody else is asleep. I don't know.
Dangers of a party that's half elves.
They get bored and get into trouble. Everybody else is asleep. What do
Well,
we do?
technically, still for another 4 hours, you do light activity to qualify as a long rest. So it's like you can't spend the next 4 hours like causing problems, but you can plan stuff.
He's gonna pull. He's got a book in his bag. And he's gonna pull it out and read it. He's not gonna get into too much trouble. Maybe write a little bit in his write a little bit about his wonderful dream that he had.
Speaking of which, maybe we should go see this Madam Eva that they mentioned and see if she can help us understand why we are here.
That's right. Did they say where she was located?
They did, didn't they, Jim? I don't remember.
Yeah, they did mention that her encampment was by the teaser pool. I could never pronounce it. It's like I think it's supposed to be like Zarpool or something like that. It's Tser.
Sir?
Maybe. I am terrible at pronunciation at the best of times. When you give me a one that's supposed to be a silent T, I can't help it. I pronounce the T. My brain doesn't let me not pronounce it if I haven't heard it before. Which basically they said, get on the road heading west and take the North Fork when you're first offered it. You should be able to get to the encampment.
Of course, there was that man who said he wanted us to protect his sister. Perhaps that would be something we can do too. I don't remember his name. This is actually in character.
Was the man who wanted us to bury the father the same as the one with the sister, or am I getting things confused?
They are one and the same.
Is that the lesser one? What's his name?
Oh yeah, it's Mark the Lesser.
Right. Okay. I mean, I guess we'll deal with those and then we can head out to talk to that woman, try to figure something out?
Sounds like something to do.
Yep. As a side note, what do you think the odds are that there's a shop that sells supplies that aren't overpriced? Because I have a healthy amount of arrows, but it might be an issue if we get involved in another conflict like we did in that house.
I don't think there's any sells them cheap.
Uh,
We could ask the barkeep. He might know.
There's no current barkeep on duty. Everything is closed down for the night.
Yeah. Another problem with elves, they're always awake, it seems like.
right. Well, what are we going to do to kill a few hours around here? It doesn't really seem like there's anything going on, and I don't want to travel too far.
So we don't want to get in trouble.
No.
Hmm. I have no idea what to do. Can meditate, I suppose, but that's going to get boring.
We just do a montage of 80 style montage. Yeah.
Looking at the clock and going, oh, well, 1 second's gone by. Hey.
If that's what you want to do, we can play it like that.
I mean, Kale might eventually wander down there and just start rummaging around behind the bar, because, you know.
How long before Kale would do that? 1 hour? 2 hours?
Maybe after an hour or so, he'd
Okay.
wander down.
So as far as the rest of you are concerned, you've got 1 more hour to go before a long rest is fully in effect.
So just have to sit and wait for the hour.
And now Kale has joined you downstairs. What do you guys
Sleep
wish?
as elves get, right? Like, they're
What?
probably used to, like, 24-hour, like, society, huh?
Yeah, they would. Probably have a whole host of things in primarily elven society for that.
Well, I think usually Alray would be probably used to spending time in the temple. This time just rearranging stuff, getting ready for the next ceremonies. He's obviously not there anymore.
Yeah, considering your temple was dedicated to burying the dead and everything, so you're very used to funeral services.
Oh, yeah.
So, Kale, what exactly is your intention as you rejoin your fellow elves down in the
Like I said, he's gonna start looking around behind the bar for, like, mutter something about terrible service, and just start rummaging, looking for, you know, see if there's anything that he can grab
roll
for
investigation.
breakfast or
Okay.
investigate.
Yep. Roll investigation.
As you say that, you hear me say, well, this place is ran by humans. What do you expect?
Oh, sorry, it's that I was testing some rolls, so, but
15.
it still counts.
Well, you do find an unopened bottle of grape smash behind the bar. The local wine.
He'll you know, putter around until he finds a way to open it, and you know, he's no stranger to wine for breakfast.
Does he drink straight from the bottle, or does he grab himself a glass?
No, he's way too. He's gonna look for some kind of glass. He's not gonna drink from the bottle.
Yeah, there are some wine glasses behind there as well.
He's just quietly helping himself while the other two just stare at him.
Can I find like a table, kind of in the corner if anyone were to come down and just start like carving little symbols into it? Like I'm just like fucking with the table.
Sure.
Yeah. just drawing.
I'll walk over and see what you're drawing.
They're just dicks.
Knew it.
Is there something I can help you with?
Curious what you were drawing.
Yeah, I love art.
See that?
Mm-hmm. I'm really not used to this.
But just sitting around. Neither am
Yeah.
I.
Both of you roll me a perception check, please. Oh god. Layla, as you finish carving the dicks, and you take your hand away and, let's admire your handiwork, you notice out of the corner of an eye a small green bean just sitting there on the chair next to you, and you hadn't noticed it there before.
Being? B-E-I-N-G?
Bean. B-E-A-N. Yep.
Okay. Don't
Well,
need it.
isn't that curious?
Isn't what curious?
Well, this. I'm gonna grab it and put it up on the table.
Oh. Green bean.
Why was it on the chair?
I don't know. Perhaps they served it for dinner last night?
I mean, maybe.
Green beans?
I guess. It's just weird. Just one?
Yes.
Just the one.
Is there like a door to a kitchen area or anything?
Yeah, there's like a tiny. Well, actually, it's not really a door. It's more like, as you're looking behind the bar, there is a tiny alcove with a a tiny stove and just enough space over top of it for either a tea kettle or a small cauldron of like super stew or something like that. And then there's a shelf opposite it with like hard cheese, some kind of stale bread, some bits of fruit. A few natty carrots, that sort of thing.
Kale's gonna help himself to some of the bread and cheese. He's not gonna fight with the other two over the random bean they found.
Hey, Kale, look to see if they have green beans.
Do I see any green beans or on the stove or shelf or anything?
Roll an investigation check. You look around, and especially after hearing about that, like search for a moment, both in the pot, in there, and on the shelf. And you don't see any evidence of any kind of legume over there.
He's just like, no beans. Why are you playing with a little piece of leftover
It's just
food that you found?
It's weird. Why was it on the chair? Why is it green? Is it hard like it's not been cooked?
It's hard, yeah.
What the fuck? It's not even cooked.
It is strange.
Kale wanders over, like chewing on a hunk of cheese, and like he's like, it's just a bean. I mean,
Come on, Kale. This is the most interesting thing that's happened this morning. This is.
you two really don't know how to survive without humans to entertain you, don't you? Do you?
Listen. No one's curious. Neither one of you.
Yes, I just don't know where it came from either. I suppose we can wait for the owner to wake up and ask him if he's seen the bean before.
I don't want to ask the owner about the bean. I feel like we're going to sound insane.
This place seems quite insane as it is.
You make a fair point. I mean, whatever. Just I feel like we should take it. I don't trust this. They don't even have beans here.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Boyfriend came home. Or That's your problem if you don't know which one's which. Sorry. Kale's gonna take his dagger and like try to cut the bean in half, cause why not? Or like press down on it with the dagger.
All right. Roll a strength check.
I was hoping it would scream or something, but here comes Kale's -2 strength.
It flexes a little, but doesn't seem to pop or break.
Kale kind of sneers at it. He's like, "Why don't you just go outside and plant it? It looks like one of those seed things. They're always poking into dirt."
I'm not sure what would happen if we plant the bean, though.
Are there stories about magic beanstalks in this world?
Are you saying this out loud, or is this a question for the GM?
I'm asking the GM. Like,
Roll
would there be
Arcana,
something-
please.
Roll what?
Make an Arcana check, please. You have no idea. You've heard of magic beanstalks, yeah, but for as far as you can tell, there's just something that only exists in the Feywild. All right. So, what are you guys doing?
Wake up and come down and find us all staring at this bean.
So, I believe after that hour, once Quentin wakes up, he's busy imbuing. Sorry, when Wave wakes up, he's busy imbuing his belongings. So you're still going to be waiting probably another hour.
Yeah, I mean, I need to make my things, yes.
So yeah. So it's probably going to be yet another hour before Wave and or Sarah come down to see what you guys are doing.
Well, I'm gonna continue my artwork if you two don't mind. I'm gonna continue carving into the. Actually, I'll find a different table and I'll start doing it there too.
Did you take the bean or did you leave it there?
I'll take the bean with me.
Okay.
Keep it in my line of sight.
So you start hearing. Yeah, I'm gonna go the perception check. You start hearing footsteps on the stairs, and the three Vistani women make their way into the room. One of them heads back behind the counter and stares up at the shelf and goes, "Wasn't there some cheese here?" She looks around. Another one goes to the door to open it up, and the third just starts moving tables and moving chairs and starts dusting off tables.
I'm gonna quickly change positions to a table that doesn't have dicks carved in it.
I'd move there instead as well.
Kale, do you attempt to hide the cheese, or did you already finish it?
He wouldn't attempt to hide it if he hadn't already finished it.
Okay. So the woman, the one behind the bar, just kind of looks over at your group and goes, "You three are already awake. Oh, right, the ears. You're elves. How soon one forgets. There's so few elves. Chance to encounter elves in this land. So, you wouldn't happen to know anything about the missing cheese, would you?"
She's looking at when she says that.
She's
Oh,
looking at the three of you, kind of like flicking your eyes between each of you.
Cheese? I haven't had any cheese to eat, no.
Look around and say, I have no clue.
Kale like just kind of like idly brushes some crumbs off of his robes, like. He's like, he's not trying to be slick. He's kind of doesn't even like, I don't know if he's used to paying for things.
Yeah, thankfully for you, Kale, she didn't seem to notice the crumbs. She gave you a hard look anyway, and then lets out a long sigh. Says, "Perhaps it would be best if you left for now? Perhaps come back in an hour or two when breakfast is ready?"
I guess that's fair. I'll give you some space. And I'll get up to start heading upstairs.
Leave the bean.
No, I'm taking the bean. The bean comes with me.
I just kind of sigh and say, very well. And I'll go back upstairs as well.
Building where like it has like an outside like railing, right? Like the room you have to go outside to go upstairs.
No, that's the other inn you're thinking
Okay.
of. No, this one I'm just putting on the inside since there's no official description, which means it can be anything I want.
Curious, because I remember with the one inn we stayed at was like that, and I was wondering. Kale doesn't really like have a room. I don't know if he considers that his room where he woke up. So he's kind of gonna go like stand outside, I guess. Like just
Hello?
take a look up and down the
Hey!
street and stuff.
Hi, Sarah. Okay, so you exit out, and it's a cool, not quite morning. Well, vague morning, but it is still dark and overcast. And you look up, and you can't see the sun behind the fog bank, even as you can tell it's coming over the horizon because there's a bit of glow among the fog in the distance, but it's still very dark and gloomy here.
Any other like signs of life in the town? Like, are people stirring, or is it like seem pretty desolate?
It seems pretty desolate, although you can sort of somewhere to the south make out the soft sound of crying. Like, just an ongoing weeping noise.
Go look for crying stuff. Sorry.
Yeah.
Are there any like benches or anything out there? He might just sit and pull his book back out and just.
Nope. There's no benches. Not much signs of life in the city. Not even just the lack of people, but you also don't see any lights anywhere. Even in the shop across the street, it's all dark.
You take note of the shop across the street. maybe walk over it. Does it have windows that he can peer into creepily?
No, there's some rather heavy curtains in the way. Well, there are windows, but there's heavy curtains drawn over them. There is a sign over the door reading Bildrath's Mercantile.
There's nothing, absolutely nothing. He just go back inside and sit down at one of the tables and just go back to reading his book and just just ignore the ladies if they're, because
He's not taking any of that. Alright, so Kale is ignoring them. Wave, you finished your building of your stuff. Layla and Alaria, you've head back to your rooms, and Sarah, you've gotten up, and I guess have you decided what you're like doing with your artificer skills today?
For the long rest?
Mhm.
Yeah, decided. I'm going to do Goggles of the Night and Enhanced Defense.
All right. So slowly during this part, the smell of cooking bacon starts reaching your noses, along with a bit of a more subtler smell that might be boiled carrots and potatoes of some kind.
my mic is only partially picking me up.
So, Kale, since you're sitting downstairs, you're sitting in there. You happen to see, they've been bustling around. They pulled out some bacon from a little compartment set into the floor, and stuck that actually in the stove to start cooking it. And on top of that, they threw in some mashed potato and not mashed. Sorry, well, a bit of mashed. It's like semi-mashed potato and carrot, but put a lot more water in it than would normally be imagined for such a dish. So it's like boiling a mash, which is not the most recommended of things.
Much of that he would actually notice. He's kind of just like, reading, occasionally licking a finger and turning the page. Just kind of
That's true.
killing
Very
time.
true. But what are the rest of you guys doing then?
Oh, never mind. I'm going to need a minute.
Yeah,
Wave?
Go ahead.
What about you, Wave? Oh, there.
Wave is just chilling, playing around with his drink, like making it like move in weird ways and change color.
Okay, so you're still in your room. All right.
I mean, I'll come down eventually when I'm done with everything.
Sarah will come down and she looks like she's fiddling with something on her wrist. That she's some kind of weird contraption that she's attached. She's using her wood carver's tools.
You notice that Kale is pretty much the only other person in there. Well, and the three Vistani women, but I mean the only other non-owner of the place. There.
Kale, did you have a nice sleep?
Like kind of looks up and from his book for a moment and just nods. And then
Sorry for
I
Strahd.
see. Wait. To go through a trance. I should know this.
Yeah, you've been around elves. You know about their chances.
Yeah. I have to ask because I don't think Layla will tell me. But like, do you dream and stuff?
Yeah, I guess they do dream. Like I think it says that they sort of dream, but he said yes, actually that whatever that little cake you gave me it gave me the most wonderful dreams. That I don't usually dream that vividly.
Darn it. That means it was drugged. I'm so sorry. Layla told me it might have been drugged.
He just shrugs. He's like it's probably the best rest and the most wonderful dream I've had since leaving home.
Wow, Kale, I didn't know you were cool. Holy shit.
He seems slightly confused by that, but
Eventually, Larry would come back down to morning.
But like seriously, that was an old lady. That's some whack. I can't believe old ladies are selling drugs on out in the open like that. That's crazy. But you know, this place hasn't been very normal so far, so I guess I shouldn't have expected that.
ladies selling drugged pies.
Yeah, she's a very nice old lady. Completely run of the mill old lady, I'd say.
I kind of like would he's not. I guess he doesn't run into too many like old people. People don't really get old where he's from. I guess there's wood elves. Thought of an old lady is kind of weird to him, but
I mean, elves get old eventually. Just like it just takes a long time.
I think in Grizz's world, like
Yeah, in my world,
high elves can technically live forever if they
high elves and drow are kind of based on Tolkien-esque elves, whereas wood elves live about the same as the wood elves and other variants of elves, other than possibly dusk elves, live about the same as the book states.
Ah, okay.
Which is like 700, 800, maybe 1,000 years, but no, high elves and drow in my on Ollaras pretty much live thousands of years and rare.
quite
The
considered
concept
how
of
old
dying
Kale
from
is.
old age, it's just pretty much unheard of almost. I mean, now there's stories of people who are really, really old among them that simply go to the Feywild.
Elves either die from trauma or ennui.
Yes. And Layla, by this point, you see Sarah is there talking to Kale, and that Alira has come down as well.
Yep. Good to see you two again. Sarah, did you sleep well?
Yeah, I did actually. It was very comfortable.
That's good. So this is a bit random. What do you know about green beans that don't break and are really hard? And I don't know. It's just I have this bean and it's really bugging me. Has been for the past few hours. I'm gonna put it
You have
down
a
on the
problem
table.
with it? You have a
Well,
problem with a bean?
Sarah, yeah. Look. I'm gonna plop it down in front of her.
Could I make some kind of check to identify what this is?
Sure.
Or...
Nature or Arcana, depending on what you're looking for.
Let's see. It's a bean, so I think my first instinct would be nature.
You look it over, and it resembles, the normal kind of bean that you throw into a pot and eat, or that you plant out in a garden and let grow. But you being an artificer are more, let's say, attuned, though not in the D&D sense, to the idea of things that vibrate magically. It's like something so subtle that any normal person really wouldn't pick up on it. You touch the bean, and you can feel that there's some kind of magical imbuement in this thing.
Oh, this is like a magic bean, which is odd. Where'd you get this?
It was just sitting next to me in the chair.
What?
It was sitting there. Which, again, really suspicious.
Yeah, that's really weird. Well, I don't know what to do with this, honestly.
Do you
If I had a
think...
little bit more materials, I could try to identify it, but unfortunately, I do not have those materials.
I mean, Kale suggested we plant it. Is that how you do it?
Yeah, sure, why not? I don't see anything go wrong. You know what? Actually, that's actually the best idea ever. Let's plant it.
You want to go plant this bean?
Yeah, let's go plant the bean.
Okay, let's go, Sarah.
Okay, I'll follow you. Just see what happens.
Okay, we're gonna go plant this bean.
Kale, do you stay in there, or do you go out with them?
I think he just followed them out of morbid curiosity, since he sat there and stared at a bean with them for an hour earlier.
Okay. So you find a little bit of dirt in an area right behind the inn, between a couple of houses. It's basically in an alley. What do you wish to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna put my goggles on, and I'm going to very carefully plant it, and then jump back.
All right, roll me a 1d100.
It's always 50 something when I roll these.
All right. Roll me a 1d4. All right. So, from the area where you just planted the bean, 12 bright pink toads crawl forth from the ground, just kind of shaking off the dirt and looking up at you.
Huh. That's interesting, right?
Yeah. We've never heard of any type of bright pink frog, have we?
Roll Arcana check.
Sure.
Whatever this is not normal. Even you do not know anything about it.
Kale's gonna take his quarterstaff and poke at one.
It suddenly turns into a large toad, just normal colored toad, but now a large size, and it turns and stares at you. Right.
Kale would just step back.
Out.
Well, that's not normal at all.
Does it look aggressive?
The other pink toads just start hopping around the ground, and it looks at one of the shingles on a nearby building, extends its tongue and pulls the shingle into its mouth and starts chewing on it.
Hey, maybe we should go before people realize that we did this.
All right, but I'm gonna pick one up.
Sarah.
It also transforms into a giant toad and tries to squash you.
Oh no.
Roll dexterity saving throw.
Oh god.
You take 1 point of damage as your ankle is rolled as you roll out of the way from underneath of it.
I should have expected that. They just look so cute, though.
Kale's gonna throw up his arms and just walk back into the tavern.
After a full minute has gone by, all 12 of the toads, regardless of the size they are, vanish into a puff of pink smoke.
Those
Why?
were so cool.
Why does that exist? Why would a bean like that exist, Sarah? For what?
When it comes to magical bullshit, the question isn't why, it's
Why?
what.
Great. Well, I mean, at least now we know if we find any other beans sitting next to us, that's what they do. Or something like that.
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm glad to know
Although-
that.
I don't know what the practical use of this would be, though. Quite interesting, though. Anyway, this bean fiasco has got me completely out of off track. What exactly are we doing again?
I offered to help Ismark the Lesser bury his father and protect his sister, so that's something I need to do. You can come with me if you wish.
Yeah, why not? I don't see anything else to do. Guys down?
Yeah. Help someone out.
Of course, we need to find out where he lives. I don't know if he actually told us where he lives, did he, GM?
Let's see. I think that this would have been swallowed into, end of the game, Kale eating that thing. But if I didn't say it in character, before you guys all went off to bed, Ismark would have said, my house is at the very end of the street and point in the right direction. But,
All right.
yeah.
The first thing I would do is go back in and eat some breakfast.
So yeah, Kale doesn't bother with any breakfast, but he would ask the ladies at running the place if they know where he can procure the elements for a spell, and he asks them for he needs herbs and incense and some other garbage.
Yeah, well, the only thing around here, my friend, is, Cutie, is, the place across the street. That's the only one in town. If you really want my opinion, though, head off, follow the road west to Valaki. You should be able to find a better store there.
Yeah.
Oh, Lulu and Kale are somehow going to become best friends.
Yes. Let's see. Speaking of which, I probably need some sort of materials for a burial. I'm not sure what that would be, but probably nothing here either for that.
By the way, is Wave going to join the party, or is he just going to stay up in his room all day?
I thought I already did. I'll come down.
All right. So by the time that the rest of you have re-entered the tavern after the bean incident, Wave has come down from his room.
Hey guys.
We're going to go help someone bury someone.
Okay. I can help it out.
Oh, okay. I mean, I think I'm just gonna observe. Really, I can't really lift things. Moral support, though, that's pretty good.
Sounds good. Let's see if we can go help this man.
Yes.
All right. So you head outside and start heading south. As you pass by one of the buildings to the east, you do make out the faint sound of crying coming from within.
I kind of look towards the house and I say, probably another haunted house like the other one.
Do you remember what happened the last time we
Yeah.
looked into crying?
Yes.
What you can see from the outside of it is it's dark, 2-story, and you can see barricades at all the windows.
Oh, we're not doing that. No.
Now, hear me out.
No, wait a damn minute. Let me prepare myself for whatever you
being
have
turned
to
into
say.
a pile of broken bones. Well, maybe you don't.
Okay, fine. You know what? Yeah. There's no monsters involved, as far as I can tell, so...
Mm-hmm. We have a set plan right now. We're going to do that. We're not going to the crying house with the barricaded windows.
Why are they barricaded?
Well, no, that's not our problem, though. So we don't have to ask questions.
Alright. I'm just curious, that's all.
Let's go be curious over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she just kind of walks along.
Eventually, you get to the mansion. A weary-looking mansion squats behind a rusting iron fence. The iron gates are twisted and torn. The right gate lies cast aside, while the left one swings lazily in the wind. A stuttering squeal and clang of the gate repeats with mindless precision. Weeds choke the grounds and press with menace upon the house itself. Yet, against the walls and growth has been tramped down. Yet against the walls, the growth has been tramped down to create a path all about the domain. You can see heavy claw marks that have stripped the once beautiful finish of the walls. There's These great black marks tell of the fires that have assailed the mansion. Not a pane nor a shard of glass stands in any window, and all the windows are barred with planks, each one marked with stains of evil omen.
This house also has boarded up windows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Starting to realize a trend here.
Yes.
So maybe my curiosity will be sated anyway.
Perhaps. I'll make my way to the door.
I would like you all to roll me perception checks, please.
I guess I need to perceive, huh?
If you want.
Oh, nope, that wasn't nature. Sorry.
So, well, it's the same roll anyway, because it's both are +2. So, as you head in, Sarah is the first one to notice that the weeds that are trampled by all around the mansion looks like wolf paw prints and human footprints. You recognize these sort of things, being the sort of monster and creature tracker that you are.
Wolves have been around here. And human footprints. Combination of those two can mean two things. One, a man with a pet wolf, or 2, a man who could turn into a wolf. I like the second option for obvious reasons.
Why can't it be a wolf with a pet man?
You know what? That is something I have yet to be seen. I have not seen that before, so I will go ahead and keep an open mind.
All right.
I'll knock on the door.
You hear a woman's voice say, "Who is it?"
My name is Elray. I spoke to your brother, I suppose it was, Ismark the Lesser.
It is Mac. You hear the voice call out, and then after a moment, you hear, "Identify yourself, please."
This is Elray, the cleric
Ah.
of...
Yes, I think I do remember you. And you hear the sound of a door being unbarred, and it slowly opens. You can see after the door is open all the way that the interior of the mansion is well furnished, yet the fixtures show sign of great wear. Noticeable oddities are the boarded up windows and the presence of holy symbols in every room. In the side drawing room, on the floor lies a simple wooden coffin surrounded by wilting flowers and the faint odor of decay. Inside the coffin lays a man. Thank you for coming. We made the coffin ourselves. We just need assistance and protection getting it to the church.
Very well.
Protection?
Yeah.
In case Strahd's wolves come back.
Oh. Why have Strahd's wolves been attacking? And Strahd has wolves?
The devil has many creatures. Wolves, bats, the undead. They all serve him.
Ah.
And
Okay.
at that point, you get your first look at the woman.
You know what? I gotta be honest. I don't know much about vampires. So, the idea that they command woodland creatures is news to me. Is there anything else about vampires that would be important information?
Not just vampires, the woman informs you. He is the master of these lands. He controls the lands. Things here bend to his will. And the man kind of nods a bit.
Ah. That was a bit harder to trap.
I think he's already trapped us, my friend.
Yes, but then you trap him in his own trap. That's how you get him.
Ah,
I can remember a blazing hunger in his eyes, but each of his visits are lost in nightmares. 3 days ago, our father could no longer withstand it. His heart gave out on him.
my condolences, dear.
Yes, and that is why I'd like you to help us bury our father and help spirit my sister away from his place. Take her somewhere safe. Take her to Vallaki. Take her to to someplace safe.
Is Lucky safe?
Safer than here. It has walls around it.
Huh. Alright. Let's take care of your father's burial first.
And nods. Irina goes to the one side of the coffin. Ismark goes to the other side and waits for you guys to help with the the long side of the coffin.
I will try to help.
Anyone else helping?
Oh, I'll try.
I can help.
Hell ain't doing that.
All right. So, with enough of you assisting as pallbearers, you're able to pick up the coffin as a group and start heading it up the street. It is clearly daytime, early morning, but the sky is still overcast. And I mean, compared to what you guys are used to, probably back in your own home areas. Like usually by this time, even if it's overcast, there's at least bright light. Here, it's like all dreary and almost monochrome is a good way to put it. Just as people are getting up and heading out of their homes and heading up and down the street and making way for the coffin, it still feels almost as if it's twilight to you guys.
Hmm. It's a good thing I got these goggles. Now I don't have to. Now I don't have to rely on light. Wait, did you make stuff? Wave?
Wave, Quentin.
We lost him.
Yeah, I did. Sorry.
Wave, did you make stuff? Like devices, stuff that would help us?
I did. I mean, depends on what you mean by help us.
Oh?
I mean, I mean, it's mostly for helping me. I mean, it will help us carry a lot more.
Oh,
I
okay.
have this. I made like one of those bags of holding.
Oh,
'Cause I
yeah.
thought, like, I mean, we might need to like carry around a lot of stuff, and I don't want to deal with like getting a cart or anything. So I thought like it might be easier this way. Also, there's probably a lot of good booze in this place. Seems like a lot of people want to drown their sorrows. So, I mean, that's one upside.
Hmm. Okay.
I mean, if you have things you need to store away, I'll feel free to ask. And for the other thing, I bet my armor. I made sure I take a bit less damage next time I fully, because I think neither of us want a repeat of last time.
Yeah, I did the same exact thing. I thought you might have that instinct.
I had some more magical power. I could do some other stuff as well. I can make like I figured out how to make like a wand that finds secrets, like doors and stuff.
Ooh, a wand of secrets. Nice.
Oh, I found out how to make these, like... I haven't made them yet, but I figured out how to make these stones that, like, send signals and messages to
Oh, that's
over long
nice.
distances. Yeah.
I mean,
I also found out a way to enhance my guns, but I don't have the materials to do so yet. So
yeah, same here, but then from my spear. Next time we should converse who gets what. Next level.
yeah, maybe.
But for now, we're pretty okay.
Eventually, you find yourself reaching atop a slight rise against the roots of the pillar stone that supports Castle Ravenloft. There stands a gray, sagging edifice of stone and wood. This church has obviously weathered the assaults of evil for centuries on end, and is worn and weary. A bell tower rises towards the back, and a flickering light shines through holes in the shingled roof. The rafters strain feebly against their lids.
Does every place around here look haunted?
Are you saying this out loud, or?
Yes.
Yes, Ismark confirms. Much of the places around here look about the same.
Hmm. Spooky.
So is this the place?
Yes, indeed. And he looks towards Kale. You should open the door for us if you're not carrying.
He'd like sigh like it's the biggest inconvenience in the world and like move up onto the steps and like
As you get to the doors, you notice that, like the house you just left, these doors are also covered with claw marks and scarred by fire.
likes to. He just kind of like scowls and like wraps his sleeve around his hand so he doesn't have to touch the door handle and pulls the door open for them.
The doors open to reveal a 10-foot wide, 20-foot long hall leading to a brightly lit chapel. The hall itself is unlit and it reeks of mildew. There are 4 doors, 2 on each side of the hall, that lead to adjacent chambers. You can see, even at this distance, that the chapel is strewn with debris, and you can even hear a soft voice from within reciting a prayer. And as you enter with carrying the body, a sudden a sudden scream rips out from beneath the wooden floor.
Is it close to us? The scream?
It's basically echoing up from whatever's underneath of the church, the undercroft.
Uh, what kind of a church is this?
It is a threat. Try not to pay too much mind. The priest is a sentimental type.
Oh,
What does that mean?
Last year, a man, much like yourselves, came from the outside, and he recruited a bunch of our people to go take on Strahd.
uh,
None of them came back. Well, one of them did, sort of. Do- Doru. But he was no longer alive. He is who you hear screaming.
so if he's no longer alive, who's that screaming down there?
It is Doru. His father will not let him. Well, will not end him and will not free him because he is dangerous. He prays non-stop to the Morning Lord that perhaps his son may be restored.
Wait, so he's undead?
Arena at the back is kind of like shivering a bit, and Ismark is nodding as he
Uh,
sets the coffin down gently and says, "Let me take the lead on this." And he
sure.
starts to head towards the main area.
Uh,
Arena looks at you, Illyria, and says, "This seems to upset you."
well, undead should not be allowed to exist.
I agree. But it is hard. The Donovich does not seem to be willing to let him go, and I think that my brother or even myself alone trying to deal with a vampire spawn would be foolish.
He's a what?
Vampire spawn. Do I know what that means?
You being a priestess of the goddess of death, yeah, you would be aware of what a vampire spawn is. That it is a lesser vampire. They they can't easily turn somebody else. They're weaker, but they have all the same drawbacks as a normal vampire. And they are typically beholden to that vampire. It's not uncommon for them to be insane and not even remotely. Sometimes just a shell of their former selves. Other times, basically impossible to reconcile with what their former self was. So, after a few minutes, the Ismark returns with a pudgy faced man. Pudgy man. I've got a picture of him. Hold on. Dressed in priestly robes. And he kind of looks at the group of you and kind of bows his head a little bit. This be sad times. I'm sad to see that the Burgomaster is here at this point.
You are the main priest here, right?
Donovich.
Yes, Donovich. I have a proposition for you.
What is that?
Now, it's gonna sound bad, but you're gonna have to hear me out, okay? So your son, right, is a monster right now, correct?
I pray the Morning Lord to restore him.
Yes, that's all fine and good. So while he is a monster, right? And again, you're gonna come out with this an open mind, all right? Can I experiment on him?
No.
His eyes just sort of well up with tears. You wish to do horrible things to my only child.
No, not horrible things. Not horrible things. No, that's wrong. That'd be bad. I wouldn't do that.
Medium things.
I'm going to do bad things to a monster, and then when you get your son back, it won't matter. Does that make sense?
He is still my son. He's just looks very taken aback.
I know. Okay, listen. What I'm hearing right now is not an open mind, and more of just kind of a reactive response. And I'm going to need that to tone that down. I just need to understand how vampires work.
Oh, you don't.
I'm gonna put my hand on her shoulder and be like, didn't they just came here to bury a body?
Yes, we don't need to. We don't need to know how vampires work. I know how they work.
Oh, you do?
There's
Well,
Yes.
okay, then
There's
let's throw this whole thing out the window.
another one that isn't his son also, so.
I'm sorry. Is this bad? What I'm asking?
It is. Yes.
Yeah, Loki, it is.
Yeah.
That is my fault. I apologize, Donovich. That might have seemed that was bad to ask you, and you seem very upset, and I'm very sorry. But if you change your mind, just
Sarah.
okay, I'm sorry.
Okay. We apologize. We're here to bury someone. If we could get that done, that would be fantastic. Again, I'm so sorry about your son.
Yeah. If we ever find something to help him, we will definitely come back and help you out with it.
Could also help you with other things, but
Sarah.
Okay, I'm done
Sarah?
talking.
Yeah, thank you.
So, are you going to fully help with the burial, or were you just coffin deliverers?
I'll fully help.
Yeah, I'll fully help.
Sarah actually feels bad. She's gonna help too.
Kale is going to stand around and look bored.
He's gonna keep guard. That's what we're doing. And if we get eaten by wolves, we're all gonna blame you.
All right. So it is essentially, still really early in the day, kind of dawn. So the the priest had actually been told beforehand about this, so he'd actually gotten the ground prepared. So he has you carry the coffin around towards the grave site that he had prepared previously, and basically shows you where to put the how to slowly lower the coffin in, like be careful with it and all that. And he also turns towards Illyria. You strike me as a clothed woman. Do you have prayers to intone as well? I have some prayers to the Dawn Father. Sorry, not Father.
I
Not Dawn Father. Sorry, prayers to the Morning Lord. To help
do,
deliver
yes.
his soul from this place.
I do. I can offer prayers to Quar.
And he kind of gestures towards you to let you pray over the body.
All right, so I'll just begin the usual prayer to Quar to help bury the body.
Irina and Ismar kind of like stand looking respectful and kind of bow their heads listening to your words. When they are finished, the priest also intones a prayer, this one to the Morning Lord. Just kind of like, prays over the body and looks at Irina and looks at the rest of you. It seems that she should be getting far away from here in her condition. Or perhaps she will suffer a similar fate to my son.
Yes.
I have a question. Why her? Why are we taking specifically her across the country?
Because she is his next victim.
Oh.
Yes, Isaac says, nodding. My sister is under threat. She has been visited and bitten by the devil. If we do not get her far away from here, she might fall under his spell completely.
Yes.
That's
Roll perception checks, please.
no.
Layla and Wave, even as you guys are talking and people are looking around at Irina and Ismark, you notice a weird expression come across Donovich's face for a moment, and he reaches into the book that he's holding, a prayer thing, opens it up to the back and stares in bewilderment at something that's there. A piece of paper. And he pulls it out and looks at the group of you. And then he looks over at Alira. I think I am supposed to give this to you.
Okay. I'll take the paper.
I think we'll take Arena across the country, right? That's what we're doing. We're
Yes.
agreeing to that. Okay.
Yes.
That's a good idea because it would be
Okay.
really bad if she got caught.
It's now in player handouts for you. It's called Mysterious Note.
We'll make sure
Donovich
Irina is safe, as Sarah says as she writes bait into her book.
rubs his head and says, I think that man who got my son killed gave this to me. Why did I not remember that till now? And why did I feel I needed to give it to you?
kind of look. I look at him. I look at all of them. I say, "Where's Mount Baratok?"
Mount Baratok. Well, that is, Ismark speaks up at this point. That is far away. It's close to Krezik. Nearby to Lake Baratok. It's all the way in the west.
Oh, so it's beyond Villaki
Yes.
where we need to go.
Yes, it is past Villaki.
Okay.
Somewhere near the Abbey of Saint. Somewhere near the Abbey of Saint Markovia.
Ah,
Where's that?
The Abbey of Saint Markovia overlooks the village of Kresk.
Yeah, but where is Kresk?
It's follow the road to the west. There are signs.
Okay.
so what time of day is it now?
It's morning. It's getting to mid morning.
All right, so I look to Irina and I say, "Are you ready to go now?"
And Irina kind of like pulls out a pack that she's actually had over her shoulder and nods. I put this on before we left the house. I figured that it would be better not to return.
Ah,
I knew I'd had to
Alright.
leave, but I did not want to leave until Father was buried.
Understood.
Yes, that makes sense. I guess if everyone else is ready to hit the road, then I am. I have all my stuff packed.
I'm ready.
As ready as I'll be.
I'll look towards Kale.
He just shrugs. He's like, whatever.
All right.
He just figures his best chance is to stick with you guys since we all came here together, kind of.
Alira, what does the note say?
It says, "I don't know who you are, but I know you are there helping with the funeral of Coilan. We need to talk. Climb Mount Baratok. I will be there waiting." And then signed M.
Okay. Great. Right. We're ready to go, right? Let's go.
Ready.
Any last business in Barovia before you leave? In the village of Barovia before you leave for the road?
Other than burn down that guy's shop. No, I'm joking. Yeah, I got nothing.
So that's 3 of you that want to do something to that shop. But you have two morally obligated people to stop you from doing it, I think.
But I technically already swindled him.
So maybe one more moral compass of the party.
I mean,
Compass. I mean,
Well, you have
Sarah.
you have a cleric.
Yeah.
I'm not bad.
It's not something that Sarah would do. She would not burn down some guy's shop. As much as her actions speak, she's good aligned.
Yeah, and that would definitely burning down a shop, stealing from it. Yeah, that's the sort of thing that I would say that your alignment would probably be damaged from doing such a thing.
what if the shopkeeper's evil and you're freeing the people from his tyranny?
If he was a monster, Sarah would probably do it. Although she wouldn't burn it down. I think if she would only burn it down if it was dangerous to the people somehow.
Yes, Liz, I love that. Anyway, So you exit the village and head off in a southwesterly direction along the road. Eventually, you make it to a bridge and a river, flowing with clear blue winter sky through the valley. It is still overcast, and it seems like it's always overcast here in Barovia, but you still get enough sky reflected down on the river to see it sparkling in blue. Eventually, you find yourself at a crossroads and find yourselves looking at an old wooden gallows that creak in a chill wind. It's blowing down from the high ground to the west. A frayed length of rope dances from its beam. The well-worn road splits here, and a signpost opposite the gallows points off in 3 directions. Barovia Village to the east, Seer, I still can't pronounce it, Tseer Pool to the northwest, and Ravenloft/Falaki to the southwest. The northwest fork slants down and disappears into the trees, while the southwest fork clings to the upward slope. Across from the gallows, a low wall crumbling in places partially encloses a small plot of graves shrouded in fog. Yeah, seer pool. A good point, because considering that the seer is there. I am terrible at pronunciation.
The gypsy lady told us to go there to talk to the gypsy lady, right? I
The
guess they're not
actual seer.
gypsies. They're
Vistani, but the Vistani
Yeah.
are based on gypsies. Yeah.
But gypsy's a bad word these days.
Yeah, but it's based on it's based often on the worst stereotypes of gypsies too.
Yeah.
But you can play around with that and do the opposite as well if you really want to. When you play with stereotypes, you go like, okay, always positive and negative versions of stereotypes. They're still stereotypes, which is bad to begin with, but you can go with all sorts of sides.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys wish to do?
Let's see. Does Irina have any objection to going to see the seer, or the one who we could get our fortune from?
Irina shakes her head. I have no objections to this. Perhaps she can help me as well.
Maybe. So we'll start heading that direction.
All right. You hear a creaking noise behind you, coming from the gallows. Where there was nothing before, now hangs a lifeless gray body. The breeze turns the hanged figure slowly, so that it can fix its dead eyes upon you. This body looks very familiar to you all. It looks like a woman with dark skin and white hair hanging down her back, dressed in clerical garb.
That doesn't bode well.
No.
Guess we have to keep an extra eye on our dark elf friend, huh?
Yeah, that's kind of awful.
Yeah.
Well, we're not going to let anything happen, so doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
Right?
Exactly.
It's fine.
It's fine. We're fine.
Yeah, nothing's going to happen. It's going to be everything okay. Listen, having experienced death myself, I don't want to let anyone else experience death. So, except for the monsters, but that's like a thing.
See, so we've agreed. No one else dies, right?
Yeah, no one else dies.
There we go.
Right.
Okay, we're fine. Let's go, guys. We're okay.
We're all saying this, and there's the clock mechanic so that we can time.
Yeah.
Right. So an hour later, the road gradually disappears as you get a little past noon, and is replaced by a twisting, muddy path through the trees. Deep ruts in the earth and evidence of comings and goings of wagons can be seen, as your own wagon clops along at an easy pace. The canopy of mist and branches suddenly gives way to black clouds boiling far above. There's a clearing here, next to a river that widens to form a small lake several hundred feet across. 5 colorful round tents, each 10 feet in diameter, are pitched outside a ring of 4 barrel-topped wagons. A much larger tent stands near the shore in the lake, its sagging form lit from within. Near this tent, 8 unbridled horses drink from the river. The mournful strains of an accordion clash with the singing of several
do you
brightly
have?
clad figures around the bonfire. A footpath continues beyond this encampment, meandering north between the river and the forest edge.
I'll start walking towards the group of people singing.
They smile and wave at you as you get down off of your own wagon. Hello, my friend. Are you coming to sit with us and drink and sing a few songs?
We probably don't have that much time. We need to get her to.
Then you're here to see Madame Eva. Well,
Yes.
I'm sure she is expecting you. Go right to her tent, and he gestures right at the tent that's off to the side.
All right. I'll make my way over there.
Magic flames cast a reddish glow over the interior of this tent, revealing a low table covered in a black velvet cloth. Glints of light seem to flash from a crystal ball on the table as a hunched figure peers into its depths. As the crone speaks, her voice crackles like dry weeds. At last you have arrived. Cackling laughter bursts like mad lightning from her wilted lips. Layla, Sarah, Wave, Elira, Kale, and even Irina. Welcome. From her in her hands is a deck of cards that she is shuffling.
This is uncomfy.
Yes. Interesting. You know who we are. We don't know. We only know you by name.
I am Madame Eva.
That's the name we know you by.
Welcome to my home. And she starts placing the cards down in a cross pattern. 5 cards in all. And she points at Alira. You may take the first card.
Okay, so they're the cross pattern.
Yeah, she points to the card that you were to turn over. The first one will be for you.
Alright, I'll cautiously turn it over.
And you see in front of you the Berserker, a picture of 2 severed heads. Find Mad Dog's crypt. The treasure lies within, beneath blackened bones.
Okay. Where would I find this crypt?
That is for you to discover.
Ah.
She points next at Kale. You next.
He would kind of look at the others and and then he would like kind of just really gingerly reach over and like use a fingernail to like flip it. Like he really doesn't want to touch it.
You see, basically, your exact opposite. The card is the philanthropist, the philanthropist. You know, Kaz opposite.
He could laugh at it, right? That's supposed to be like
Look to a place where sickness and madness are bred, where children once cried, the treasure lies still.
the death house, and we already went there.
She gestures next at Layla.
I'll walk up and kind of hover my hand over a card and hesitate for a second before picking it up.
This one shows a picture of the wizard. There it is. Look for a wizard's tower on a lake. Let the wizard's name and servant guide you to what you seek.
I'll back up.
She gestures next at Sarah. This one is about a new friend. The first 3 were for treasures that might aid you or your companions.
All right. A friend, then. She will kind of shakily undo the card.
This one has a picture of a beast on it. Very appropriate for you.
Yeah.
1 second, I'm trying to find the place here. Oh, there it is. A werewolf holds a secret hatred for your enemy. Use her hatred to your advantage.
A werewolf? Huh. Okay. I could find werewolves, yeah, sure. And she backs up.
And she
in deep
gestures
thought.
at Wave. And this is where... She pauses for a second. This is where you will find Strahd. And she gets this weird look on her face for a moment. And then closes her eyes. Sorry, something... She shakes her head. Please, turn over the card. Wave?
Yeah. We'll reach out.
And you see a picture of the rogue. I sense not as all what it seems. And she frowns again. Yes, this is quite strange. And she pulls another card from the deck and looks at it. And it shows a picture of the charlatan. The true enemy is masquerading. He is a rogue. And her eyes have just gone pure white at this point.
Your voice behind you. It's been me all along. What does that mean?
And her eyes come back to her and she starts shaking her head. I don't know. I don't know. I've never. This does not.
I think it means it's good that I learned some things that I learned yesterday.
What did you learn?
Oh, some new ways of protecting myself.
And she just kind of like just shakes her head a bit. I'm sorry. You might wish to come back another day and consult me again about. I do not know where your true enemy is, or where Strahd might be. I must sleep. I am sorry.
He respectfully nod and just back out.
A
that?
werewolf, huh? Can I make a check of just know what I figure out what I know about werewolves?
Sure. You get it a Arcana check at advantage.
Just to know what Sarah knows. I already know like basically everything about werewolves in this game, but
Yes, and all that information that's in the book, you Sarah knows as well.
Okay, cool.
Especially stuff that isn't also in the book. That there are two major kinds. That werewolves by lycanthropy are basically pulled into chaotic evil states, that they just basically go berserk with bloodlust. However, born werewolves have the ability to they can fight against those sort of natural impulses, because it's something they've been born with rather than have it forced upon them like a curse. You know that lycanthropy can technically be cured if it's lycanthropy and not born werewolfism. Uh, it can be cured if the person has not yet killed with a greater restoration. Um, Beyond that, you would probably need a wish. Actually, it might be less restoration. Let me double check. Hold on. Other than that, once they've become a lycanthrope, the only known cure is a wish spell, basically. Once they've gone full blown werewolf, their alignment kind of like dissolves into evil, and they're basically usually have gone mad at that point if they haven't embraced it fully. However, if you're born a werewolf, it's different. You can make choices about things, but born
Okay.
werewolves are not like you're barely like you're more interested in like the actual monsters, because born werewolves, they're a bit different, but you do know of them.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess while we're on this journey, I'll keep an eye out for any werewolf activity.
Yeah, let's keep an eye out for a giant wizard tower too.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that would be kind of hard
Yeah,
to miss.
it's definitely greater restoration.
Okay.
Nah.
Yeah, let's keep an eye out for a giant wizard tower and a mad dog's crypt, which makes me go back to werewolf, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Beneath blackened bones, she said.
Yeah, so maybe someone that died in a fire.
Kale has already forgotten, and his player have both already forgotten what she said.
Look to a place where sickness and madness are bred, where children once cried, and the treasure lies there still.
Yeah, I wrote them down.
Yeah, since I told you the cards, you can easily just look them up in your own book.
Yeah. Yeah, I just wrote down the card names.
Yeah, I have that written down in my notes too. Like that.
cat's being an asshole. Hold on. Trying to take things. Trying
Cat's
to be a little thief.
cat being a
Okay,
cat.
there she go. Yeah, she's trying to commit crimes right now. She really just wants attention. Okay. All right. Well, I guess we saw the seer. I'm gonna say bad omen. I'm gonna be the first to say it. That was a bad omen. That last part, I think.
I'm trying to figure out a way to flip it so it's not, but yeah, you're right, I think.
Yeah, you know what? It's just, you know what? We were able to turn a figure of Ollaras being hanged into not a bad omen. I don't think we
Right.
can turn this one around.
Yeah, I think we use that up for the day.
Yeah, it's a once a day ability. We have to have a long rest.
You can always try. Doesn't necessarily mean it'll work out that way.
Right.
So, Madame Eva has waved you out of her tent and has gone to lay down. What do you guys wish to do?
What time of day is it now? Is it?
It's the same. It's been a couple of minutes since you went into the tent.
Well, so it's late enough. I don't know. What do you think? Should we stay here for the night or should we continue?
I don't know. Do you think it's safe here?
Do we know how far it is to the next town?
We can ask the people outside. How far to Milwaukee from here?
They kind of like look at you guys and they look at the fact that you have a transport and say, well, let's see. If you make a good pace, 3-4 hours.
We could make it by nightfall if we wanted to.
Okay, that sounds good. So I don't think we need to make camp here. We're making good time.
If there's werewolves and shit wandering around, I really don't fancy sleeping in the woods.
Right.
Camping out.
Oh, I can set up traps around our camp if we have to.
Sleeping in the dirt. No, thank you.
Oh, okay. So it was more of a. Okay. I slept in the dirt like most of my life, so I just, I don't get it.
I mean, isn't that what humans do?
Not in my experience. No, I think I'm kind of a rare case. Most people in my home village slept in beds, and I didn't sleep in the village because I wasn't allowed.
You weren't allowed to sleep in your own village?
Oh yeah, I was like cast out.
Ah. Nice. Illyria would mutter under her breath in Elven odd habits of humans.
Yeah. They threw rocks and shit. It was really mean. But anyway,
I well know the meanness of humans.
Anyway, let's go.
Yes, let's go. Stop dwelling on the bad part.
All right. So get back into your cart and head off again.
Yeah.
Clip, clop, clip, clop, clip, clip, clip. You follow the river to the base of the canyon, at the far end of which a great waterfall spills into a pool billowing forth clouds of cold mist. You can see above is a great stone bridge that spans the canyon nearly 1,000 feet overhead.
So we'll just go across the bridge.
What do you guys wish to do?
I guess just cross the bridge.
I mean, we don't have a choice. We have to go across the bridge, right?
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you start heading back, looking around for the road that goes up towards that. I mean, it's 1,000 feet overhead, so and you're on a smaller path, and you have to take a minute to find the path. So who's giving me the navigational? Who's steering?
Anybody know how to drive this horse?
I mean, I might be able to try unless any of you has specific experience with it.
Not me.
Yeah, let's have someone to drive for him. Come on.
I mean, I could take a stab at it. Yeah, okay, I'll try.
Dice lag?
I'm sorry, what am I supposed to be rolling?
Perception
Handling
check.
a good guess? Oh, a perception.
Okay.
Oh,
Or
perception.
sorry, a survival check. Because you're looking for specifically for a road.
Hmm. Oh,
Yeah, poor Sarah looks to be clueless. Layla, you think you spot one, and you see something else next to it. You find what looks to be an old grave, with just a small faded marker on top.
You all see that up ahead? I'll point a finger.
oh, what is that?
Looks like a grave.
Hmm.
Is there a way to go around it, or is it like in the middle
It's
of it?
off to the side of the road.
I guess in a grim place like this, it makes sense.
Yeah. Did we want to take a peek at the name, or are we just going?
Well, now I'm curious, so I guess,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll try to direct the horses over to there. Kind of off to the side.
Yeah, your draft horse pulls you around, and it is much too worn to read. I mean, the marker itself
Dang.
is intact, but the name is just completely faded over time.
Dang. Well, alright. Let's just keep going then. I'm
Let's
not
go.
gonna go grave robbing.
Yeah, it's better if they're down to not make them undead or do anything relating to that. Let's not defile the dead.
Sarah's eyebrows raise at the word undead and then, like, calms herself down. No, I'm not gonna go digging in a grave. No, I'm not.
No, you're not. Let's go.
Yeah.
welcome back, Kale. They just discovered a grave and are moving past it.
Makes sense to me. No digging around in the dirt.
Yes, makes absolute sense. We would never dig around in a grave.
Why would you want to get dirt under your fingernails?
Is that the only problem you have with it?
Manual labor. I think that is the only problem with it. I mean, what are you going to do with a corpse?
Yeah, I mean, if it was a zombie or something, I'd kill it, but you know.
Alright, so moving on. You do find the path, and you slowly make your way up to where the bridge is going over the falls. It's not the best path, but your horse manages to pull you guys along. And moves around, and eventually... Yeah. Hate it when I lose track of the page. You follow the dirt road as it clings to the side of the mountain and ends before an arching bridge of mold-encrusted stone that spans the chasm. Gargoyles cloaked in black moss perch on the corners of the bridge, their frowns weather-worn. On the mountainous side of the bridge, a waterfall spills into a misty pool nearly 1,000 feet below, which you saw up close, and it was spectacular. The pool itself feeds a river that meanders into the fog-shrouded pines that blanket the valley, which is the way you came. You guys continue across it.
We'll continue across.
You continue along the road. Even here in the mountains, the forest and the fog are inescapable. Ahead, the dirt road splits in two, widening towards the east. There you see patches of cobblestone, suggesting that the eastern branch was once an important thoroughfare. And you see off in the east the vague outlines of past the meandering road, the vague outlines of the castle, whose major pillars reach all the way down to the village of Barovia.
Probably somewhere we want to avoid for quite a while.
Heading west along the road, you discover another set of massive gates, not unlike the ones that you found before you cut through the woods and ended up at the village of Barovia. These gates also stand open, not barring you from movement at any point.
And we'll pass through.
Yep.
Continuing on, you continue down the road. After a while, as the road gets to yet another fork, with your journey pointed north along a much wider road, you do see off to the west. Hold on. Let me get to the right page. I hate when I jump all the way to something else. There you go. You do see off to the west that the old another word I cannot pronounce. The old salvage road transitions here from being a winding path Balinanok Mountains to a lazy trail that hugs the mountainside as it descends into a fog-filled valley. That's what you see to the west. In the heart of the valley, you see. Sorry, actually, yeah, this is all to the west. You're saying. In the heart of the valley, you see a walled town near the shores of a great mountain lake. Its waters dark and still. A branch in the road leads west to a promontory, atop which is perched a dilapidated stone windmill, its warped wooden vanes stripped bare. The road towards the the walled town, appears to be meandering north. What do you wish to do?
Seems like the town would be the best option.
Agreed.
Yep.
All right. Continuing on. Starting to get late in the day, starting to get a little bit darker. You're starting to get used to this. It's always dark and gloomy here, but now it's not quite as much as it used to be. All right. The old Svelvich road meanders into a valley watched over by dark, brooding mountains to the north and south. The woods recede, revealing a sullen mountain berg surrounded by a wooden palisade. Thick fog presses up against this wall, as though looking for a way inside, hoping to catch the town aslumber. The dirt road ends at a set of sturdy iron gates, with a pair of shadowy figures standing behind them. Planted in the ground and flanking the road outside the gates are a half-dozen pikes with wolves' heads impaled upon them.
So maybe that's a good thing?
Maybe.
Like Strahd's wolves they killed kind of thing?
Maybe.
Yeah, that sounds good. This place looks safe to me.
Well,
Guess we'll find out.
I mean, is this the town that he said was going to be safe because it had a wall?
yes.
That's a wall.
Uh-huh.
Yep,
You
and
could
well, it
burn
seems
that
like
down. It's not.
true, but also they took care of the wolves. So, I mean, it's safe enough, I think.
Hope.
I mean, we can just scope it out, and if it's bad, we can go to this other St. Abbey place that he was talking about.
Alright, we'll continue riding towards the gates. Stopping just short. Of course.
There is a gate made of iron bars standing in front of you. You can see guards peering at you from over top. Halt, traveler! You are most unusual looking.
Oh,
It's rude.
well, he is right. We are quite unusual looking.
Are you a dusk elf? I've never
No,
seen a female dusk elf before.
I'm a drow.
What's a drow?
Kind of elf I am.
Tell me, do you serve Strahd?
Oh no, I don't.
Are you here to make trouble with Strahd?
Only if he makes trouble with us first.
The two guards above seem to withdraw and start chatting at each other, as if not sure how to deal with that answer. One of the guards looks over the wall again and says, "Are you here for the festival?"
Not really, no. What festival are you referring to?
3 days from now is the festival of the blazing sun. I'm sure that the burgomaster would enjoy having guests to this festival. Perhaps you should go and present yourself before him.
Is Velaki safe? Like, from Strahd?
We strive to make it safe from Strahd, yes. The other guard says. That is why we are holding festivals each week. The burgomaster has declared that anyone who speaks ill of the festivals is clearly an enemy of Strahd. I'm sorry, is in league with Strahd and is our enemy as a result.
Ah.
So the gate starts to squeak open as the internal barding is removed, allowing you guys to pass. Clip clop, clip clop, clip clop. Your horse-drawn carriage just kind of pulls you in, and quickly you see a sign for the stockyard. This large stockyard has several locked sheds along its periphery and lies adjacent to a roomy warehouse. You can see that the sign above the front gate of it reads Irisek Stockyard. And you can see through the fence, parked at the southern end, is a sturdy carnival wagon, its colorful paint peeling off. Faded lettering on its side spells out the words Victavio's Carnival of Wonders. A heavy padlock secures the back. You can see even here as you're passing by that a heavy padlock secures the back door of it. And this is what
Carnival, huh?
This is what you're seeing as you're passing by the stockyard on your way through town.
Very quietly, and Elvish, I'll say, so I know we're not supposed to speak ill of the festival, but that's kind of dreary. I mean, this entire place is dreary, but it still comes off as more spooky than anything.
Yeah, it's not great, but you know what? They're just trying to make do of a bad situation, and I respect that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, well, we're supposed to speak with the Burgermeister? Is that...
Well, if he said he would like guests, I suppose we could be guests for once.
Yeah, you know what? I could go for a good burger right now.
A what?
Burger.
What's a burger?
It's like a sandwich, but like round.
That sounds odd. A ground sandwich.
No,
Many things
round.
on the ground.
Oh,
No, round.
oh, round. Ah. How do you cut the bread so it's round?
Oh god, I want to end this thread. You just you get a knife and you cut it like it's round. You also toast it.
Okay. Sounds like an odd custom.
Yeah, that's weird. That's a human thing.
This is why I banished them all from my kingdom.
Excuse me? You what?
I look at Cal and say, for that very reason, because they make round bread?
Because they're just... He just kind of throws his hands up in the air.
So weird? Seems like a weird reason to ban people. Like a whole race of people.
They have stupid little wars all the time and constantly killing each other. Didn't need that.
That's a valid reason, but I do like the idea of Kale just like seeing humans which are cutting bread and around, just going, no, none of that in my home.
There will be no round bread in my kingdom. Take your round bread and leave.
Oh God.
All right, so if we want to be guests, that's fine. I think it's a good idea to get a feel if this place is safe or not. If we talk to the burgomaster.
Yes.
Well, you're not entirely sure where the burgomaster might be. Eventually, as you're moving your cart through town, you discover a gray smoke. A rather large building that you're pretty sure is an inn. Gray smoke issues from the chimney of this large two-story building with a stone foundation and a sagging tile roof, upon which you see several ravens perching. A painted blue wooden sign hanging above the main entrance depicts a blue waterfall.
Oh, wait, yeah, we should probably set up rooms and stuff, and then find a shop. Because remember, apparently there are shopkeepers here that don't rip you off.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Side note, if we get rooms, can I room with one of you? Because I spent all of my gold on rope. Because I was robbed.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I forgot you did that.
The 10
Yeah.
gold rope.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, sure.
We should have used that rope
Sure,
on the
anyway.
innkeeper or the shopkeeper.
Yeah, yeah, you can bunk with me. I'll sleep on the floor.
No, I don't need to sleep, so I'll meditate. Let's go. We'll figure it out, right? Let's go into the
that's
inn.
fine.
I would say, Elvin, we should keep an eye on our guest to make sure that she is actually safe here.
I'll reply back. You're absolutely right. We have a few days to figure it out.
Yes.
Forgot I don't know Elvish.
You probably know like hello, goodbye, even if you don't have Elvish on your character sheet, just because you've lived around elves.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I just have a lot of weird languages because she's weird.
Yeah. Hello, goodbye, please, thank you. Yes, no. You know, basically the basic, really basic words, and probably the phrase "no speak Elvish."
I don't
Sure,
speak
he knows.
Elvish.
I'm sure he knows several racial slurs for humans too.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know Elvish. I only know this phrase and the phrase explaining that I don't know Elvish.
I loved that. Oh, I don't speak English. I only know that line in the way this one explaining it. You're kidding, right? Okay. Sorry. It's been ages since I've seen that, but I still have that firmly in my brain.
If Sarah says that, I look at her and say, sorry. I said we should keep an eye on our companion here and make sure that this place is actually safe for her. We don't want him to get her.
That's all right. If this place is filled with monsters, I'll know in a heartbeat.
Roll your monster sense as you enter into the tap room. Damp cloaks hang from pegs in the entrance portfolio. The tavern is packed with tables and chairs. Narrow paths meander between them. A bar stretches along one wall, under a balcony that can be reached by a wooden staircase that hugs the north wall. Another balcony overhangs an entrance to the east. All the windows are fitted with thick shutters and crossbars. Lanterns hanging above the bar and resting on the tables bathe the room in a dull orange glow and cast shadows upon the walls. Most of the walls are adorned with wolf heads mounted on wooden plaques.
Just have an endless supply of wolves.
Hmm. Can vampires make wolves?
I not that I'm aware of, but I would probably think they can control wolves.
Yes. Well, actually, Arena did say that it was a special vampire, so
Yes. All right. So is there someone here who looks like they might be the innkeeper?
Hold on one second. I am actually putting you guys on a map.
Ah,
Where's Irina sticking? There we go. There we go. There you guys go.
Can't see anything.
You
Oh,
guys,
I can.
ah, there we go. It's towards the
there
bottom.
we are. There we are.
Yeah, Jesus packed.
yep, there are a lot of people in here. Laughing, drink. It's evening, so there's a lot of people there.
Sarah's gonna go up to the bar.
So
This is a bar / inn, right? Just to
Yep.
be sure. Okay.
Yeah. The one behind the bar serves a drink to the man standing at the bar, then looks over at you. What can I get for you?
How much a room?
For rooms here? Excuse me. Let me see. I'm trying to see if they actually have. One second. I think they might actually have a set amount for rooms for the night. Give me a second. It'd be very convenient if they actually put in these modules like a little plaque at the
Prices?
beginning of each area, the prices for this particular location,
Yeah,
just so you can have an instant reference table.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
you know what? I do remember this because I had the same exact problem when I was running this
Technically,
particular part. Because I was like, wait, what the fuck is the
Oh
price?
yeah, it's right up front. It's just that it's not. It should list it as one of those grayed out tables that some of the other sections have. Like at the beginning, one of the sections there's like the table for house occupants, for example, and they could do that for the information that because that's actually in the it's on the first page of the Blue Water Inn stuff, so it is there. A bed for the night costs 1 EP, or also known as 5 silver, because they actually use EP in this game for some reason. It's like crisp. Yeah, it's funny is I'm not even sure. I was listening to the to the to the podcast of Chris Perkins actually jamming this game, and it's like I don't even think even when he was jamming it that he used EP. It's like, why does he have it written in the book if he doesn't even use it for when he's jamming? It's like, well, maybe it was one of those things that was written by one of the other people.
Oh, it's 5 silver?
Yes.
Okay.
can I?
But the night is 5 silver. And if you're looking for something to eat, we have cooked wolf steak for 5 silver as well. I also offer a pint of crippled grape mash number 3 for 3 copper, and a pint of superior red dragon crush for 1 silver.
Ma'am, I was wondering if I could maybe do some sort of performance / help out behind the bar and maybe get some free room and some like a free stay for the night. That would be possible.
If you're looking for a free room, we could use some help with discovering why the most recent delivery of wine has not arrived. The Wizard of Wines is never late, but it has now been overdue by several days.
Oh, that's certainly interesting. I'll follow up on that. I was trying to use my popular by demand feature though for my background, which means that I can like possibly get free room if I do some weird performance. I think.
Well, that's what's being offered. It's like, sure, you can have a free room, but we do need some help finding out about the wine.
Sure, but that's more of a job. Yeah, fair. I guess it's not really a performance, but sure. Okay,
No,
yeah.
I think what she's saying is that you're getting the free room anyway. It's just that she needs help with the wine.
Oh yeah, sure. I'll make sure to help out with wine then. Any idea where like the general direction the cart might be coming from? That way we can like follow the path in the first direction and then like
Well,
possibly
the
cross it.
winery is off to the west. She starts and then thinks for a moment. So in theory, the shipment should be anywhere along the road to the west. Uh, it's just south of Kresik, actually.
Oh, thank you. Other quick question: do you know of any like shops that are like decently priced around here?
Ah, you've been
Because
to
the last time was really like
yes, you're another one of those outsiders who have been to the village of Barovia and now want to find a better shop. She grins. Well, of course I knew that, considering we do not have blue people in these lands. You are quite unusual.
comes with territory.
I imagine so. Let's see. What shops are around here are good for things? And double checking something. 1 second. So you're just looking for a general store, correct?
I think so.
Well, there's several shops off the town square. As for a general store, you can check out Fiona's Fineries. Oops, sorry, not Fiona's Fineries. But my bad, I had the name Fiona in my head. There's already a character named Fiona in this town. I don't want to confuse people. Astrid's Accessories. There we go.
Thank you very much. Sarah,
Yes.
how about we go looking for those tinkerers tools?
Yes.
Because
Okay.
I don't know how much they're gonna cost, and we might as well split it.
Yes. I'm gonna just buy Layla's and I's room, really quick. And I hand a gold piece to the innkeeper
Thank
for
you.
the room. And I get change back, right?
You gave 1 gold piece, and it's 5 silver per bed. So
Yeah.
a room
Okay,
has
just making sure.
a room has 2 beds, so that'd be 1 gold.
Oh, really?
Ah.
Okay.
Unless you want the common room.
Nah, it's okay. I'll deal with the loss. I'll live without the 5 silver.
I'll pay a gold for myself and Irina. At least she'll have someone to protect her.
Yep. And then wave
and when of course when Lyra pays, she just kind of looks at you and says, "You look a lot like a desk elf, only darker."
That a lot.
Well, there are desk elves that live nearby. They live in the Vistani camp, right outside town.
Yes, I heard about them. They're missing all their men. That would be quite
All their
sad.
women.
Oh yeah, all their women. That's what I meant. But
Yes.
that would be quite annoying, I would think. Very saddening.
Well, yes, that means that they've not had children in a very long time.
Ah.
Why is that, by the way?
there are no female dusk elves.
Right.
Yeah, but why?
Well, it was hundreds of years ago, and supposedly they were all killed.
By whom?
Well, um, supposedly it had something to do with and she lowers her voice. Something to do with the devil Strahd. That
Ah,
one of the women was in love with him and tried to marry him, and her sisters uh, killed her to prevent it. And in response, her brother, or either her brother or the Strahd's own footman, who then slaughtered all the women in response, or maybe it was Strahd himself. I can no longer remember. The story changes. There's, but all I know for sure is that all their women are dead.
oh,
That's unfortunate.
yeah.
Well, seems like this Strahd fellow does a lot of really bad things to these people. Getting more and more excited for the hunt. But
You're getting excited for the hunt to hunt him? What?
yes, I mean the game is afoot. The moment we step foot in this place. Honestly, I just need some kind of track or something. I don't know where he is. My hunch is the castle, but
Sarah, I guarantee you there's no way you successfully hunt Strahd. There is no scenario in which this is the case.
Well, I mean, that's your opinion.
I think it's based in reality, but we can
Listen.
hunt other things like werewolves. That's fun, right, Sarah?
Oh yeah, that's right. We got to do that first.
We will do that first. That sounds more obtainable, which is concerning to me, but it's better than hunting Strahd.
Yes.
Let's just go get some beer tomorrow. Anyway,
Sometime.
Let's go look for those.
Oh, sorry.
Oh no, go.
Yeah, let's go with those tools. Sometimes it's useful to have smaller hunts within the larger hunt.
I don't feel confident going after a vampire yet after what happened yesterday, so let's not. We also promised the guard we wouldn't. So
Yeah. Okay. It's all right. You guys will come around to it.
eventually.
Oh, so let's see. Look, speaking to the innkeeper, I said, is there somewhere where we could buy arrows and crossbow bolts?
Oh, yes, the general store. Ashford's accessories should be able to help you out there.
Ah,
This looks like everything we need is over there. All right. And she gets up and starts moving towards the door.
I would follow. He needs spell supplies.
Yeah, I believe I would follow as well.
Irina says that she will stay at the bar for now.
All right.
If we come back and she is missing, I swear to God.
Yeah, you see the one guy who was at the bar ahead of you now walking out past you guys and heading down the street.
Okay.
You guys are heading for the square. Let me get to the square ratings. There is actually information there. festival. Here we go. Shops and homes that enclose the town square are decorated with limp, tattered garlands and painted wooden boxes filled with tiny, dead flowers. At the north end of the square stands a row of stocks locked in which are several men, women, and children wearing crude plastered donkey heads. In the center of the square, peasants in patchwork clothes eye you suspiciously as they use cups and vases to draw water from a crumbling stone fountain. Standing tall at the center of the fountain is a gray statue of an impressive man facing west. All around the square are posted proclamations. Come one, come all, to the greatest celebration of the year, the Wolf's Head Jamboree! Attendance and children required. Pikes will be provided. All will be well. The Baron.
That sounds like a funny old John.
At the moment, the town guards are in the process of removing said banners and adding and replacing them with a different one. Come one, come all, to the greatest celebration of the year, the Festival of the Blazing Sun. Attendance and children required. Rain or shine, all will be well. The Baron.
Oh, that sounds even like more fun.
Seems like they just had a jamboree.
We're gonna have another one, so I mean, we should definitely check that out.
Man, they really seem in good spirits here, huh?
Yeah, I mean, a lot better than the previous town.
Honestly, I'm getting a better feeling about this place as we stay. Better deals already. I mean, that's yet to be seen, but I'm sure. And a nice inn. People are happy here. Really good place for Irina, don't you think?
Maybe. Could be. We'll have to see.
So, yeah, around the square you see signs for a coffin maker shop, for a toy store, and the main one that you've been told about, Astrid's Accessories. There's also a bakery and a butcher's shop, and a few others that appear to be boarded over. What would you guys like to do?
We'll go to the assorted goods shop.
Yep.
Or at least I will.
All right. So you go in, and there's a woman who looks like she is getting ready to pack it in and leave. She lifts her head as you enter in. Goes, "Oh, customers. Hello."
Hello.
Hello, good evening. We were wondering if you have like tinkerer's tools for sale.
Oh, you want Tinker's tools? Alrighty then. Let me see. A set of Tinker's tools will cost you. That would be 50 gold.
Oh,
I have 26. How about you?
I have 28. We're going halfsies on this?
Have these, so each pay 25.
All right.
She smiles broadly, no longer looking put off that you're keeping her from closing up her shop. Ah, that is quite a wonderful sale. Well, thank you very much. And she proffers you a full and complete set of tinkerer's tools.
Inquire about charcoal, incense, and herbs.
Is it okay if I lend these for a short rest, and then you can have them for a while? How does that sound? Just so I can make some tools for myself.
Oh yes, I was gonna do the same thing. Yeah, sure.
You
Go
guys
ahead.
should have roomed together so that you could just pass the tools back and forth.
Nah.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'm okay with our current arrangements.
And I'm quickly.
Yes,
Oh,
I've got that. And whatever the price quoted in the
Like
in
10,
summoners,
10 gold.
yeah, whatever price is quoted in the summoners, for the ritual that you need them
He's
for.
going to attempt to persuade her for a slight discount.
Roll persuasion, and how do you wish to phrase it?
He's just gonna be like, I'm a little light on the funds. Do you think you might be able to spare me, a gold or two, so that I can afford a room for the night? Gonna try to be persuasive.
She smiles, looking into your eyes, and seems to be mesmerized. I suppose I can do that. It's no trouble. Here you are. 9 gold.
He sets the gold down and kind of gives her a little bow and thanks her as sincerely as he's capable of talking to a human.
How much for crossbow bolts?
Well, a case of 10. Sorry, a. Wait, I thought that was a full case. Hold on. Because a case of crossbow bolts is like 20 crossbow bolts, right?
I think so.
Ah, there we go. No, I see it. Never mind. I was looking at the wrong spot. Yes, a bundle of 10. I'm sorry, a bundle of 20 crossbow bolts, 1 gold.
I know. And her a gold.
Thank you.
Miss, would you happen to purchase items as well?
What do you wish to sell?
Well, I have these, and I'll pull out the ivory brush I got from the death house, and then the eye patch with the gemstone.
All right.
Would these be worth anything to you?
Let me see. Those look quite nice. I think I will buy them at. And then you open up the page where it actually has the prices. Well, the eye patch, I will give you 50 gold for that, and the hairbrush 25. So 75 gold altogether.
Sure, they're yours.
Ching. She essentially hands you most of the money that she got from the sales, plus some more.
I'm gonna take a gold piece and hand that to Sarah. She bought the room.
Oh, thank you. You don't need to give me this much.
That's fine. And then, along the same line as the crossbow bolts, do you have arrows?
Of course. Also a gold for a bundle of 20.
Sure. And I'll toss her a gold piece.
Oh my goodness, I nearly forgot. Do you have bullets?
But, well, I've got sling bullets.
Ah, dang it. Yeah, I figured I wouldn't find them here. That's okay.
Will sling bullets help?
No, I'm looking for like these, and like I kind of put my bullet bag on the counter.
She like pokes a finger in and looks inside and wrinkles her eyebrow. I don't. Those look like. I don't know what they look like. I want to say ball bearings almost. Except not. They look more pointed at the end. Not sling bullets. You might want to talk to the blacksmith. Perhaps they can help you out there.
Yeah. Oh, well, actually, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, probably should get some silver ones anyway. Would ball bearings work, by the way?
Are these fully rounded, but musket ball types, or are they pointed bullets?
They are the musket ball types.
Okay, so I'm imagining that ball bearings might not quite be the right size for that, but you might be able to find ways of of making it work, like jury rig. How much gunpowder do you have?
Good question. I have no idea. I don't think I have any.
Well,
Well, I
how is your gun supposed to work if you're using musket balls and no gunpowder?
that's a good point. I should have gunpowder.
Because it's either the bullets that have gunpowder inside them, or you're packing, or it's one shot things that you're then spending a turn, an action to pack your gun once again.
I mean, if it's gonna go artillerist next level, it's technically magic, I think. Because you should technically up its
Yes.
blast from a cannon, so.
And then there's that.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, this is my non-magical gun. I think it's gunpowder inside. And I don't know. I mean, I'm about to make Smith's tools, so I might be able to figure it out.
Yeah. Well, if it's gunpowder inside, to create more, you still need gunpowder. You need to find or make
Yeah,
gunpowder.
Yeah, that's quite a process.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Hey, I've got a
yeah.
gunslinger, so I know how that works.
Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not super attached to the to my gun anyway. I have other guns that are magical and awesome. So, yeah, that's all I need. Anybody else?
I got what I needed.
Kale's good. He just needs to find a brazier to burn it all in.
No, I'm good.
All right. She waves at you and goes back to starting to pack things up again. Anything else you guys wish to do?
Is there like a church or a temple around that would have the brazier that I need to?
Yeah, there's one
this?
at the far western end of town. You can kind of
Kale's
see
gonna
it
just
down the road.
Kale's just gonna start wandering that way.
Okay. This slouching, centuries-old stone church has a bulging steeple in the back and walls lined with cracked, stained glass windows depicting pious saints. A fence of wrought iron encloses a garden of gravestones next to the church. You can see a thin mist creeping among the graves. Much like the last church you saw, this one also appears to be dedicated to the same god.
Gonna I guess, stick his head inside and see if there's anybody in there.
Alright.
Eaten by a vampire immediately, probably, because that's
I'm just trying to see who would greet you first. You can see that people are starting to drift in. Some of them do look a little bit scared, but others look like they're just there to, the equivalent of morning mass on a Sunday and sort of thing. But in this case, it's evening. You could see a some kind of altar boy up front, helping out the people, sorting them into different pews, and you see a man seemingly overseeing the church, just saying, "Welcome, welcome, brothers and sisters. Come, sit down."
guess I'll walk up to the guy welcoming people and ask if they have a brazier that he can borrow for a few moments to cast a spell.
Well, my son, perhaps after the service, I will be free to lend you the razor. And until then, how about you sit down and commune with us? All are welcome here.
He kind of looks around, sighs, and then just slumps into a pew because he figures he has to play nice to get what he needs.
You find yourself sitting next to an old woman. She looks a bit sad, and she tries to give you a slight smile as she looks over you. And she seems to stare at your ears and says, "Are you one of the Dusk Elves?"
He just shakes his head. He's like, "No, I'm from outside of Barovia."
"Oh, I've heard of ones like you." And then she thinks for a moment. But perhaps, and she reaches over to touch your hand, like lightly gripping your wrist. Perhaps you are the answer to my prayers. Perhaps you are what the gods have sent to me.
He might like almost pull away, but like he's trying very hard to behave because he doesn't want to make a scene and get kicked out.
Please, my son, Udo, he has been imprisoned for speaking out against the burgomaster. Perhaps you can find a way to help set him free?
You mean the folk in the stocks with the donkey heads on them,
She
or
frowns.
even worse?
Hold on 1 second. 3. I do not know. I've checked the stocks for him. He's not there. But I'm certain he's still alive. I'm hoping someone will be able to help me find and free him. Last I saw him, he had been it was over a week ago, and he was dragged off by that wretched Isaac. He was the burgomaster's right hand man.
So what was her son's name again? Because I'm gonna write
Udo.
this. Udo?
Udo.
Kel kind of sighs and he says, "Well, I suppose my companions and I are supposed to meet with the burgomaster. We could inquire about your son."
Thank you. And
Perhaps we can convince.
she then drops the hand and actually hugs Kel.
He just he's gonna explode. He like kind of just like has to do like heavy breathing to like not like just
Meanwhile, what are the rest of you doing as Kale is
Laughing at Kale.
Did you guys follow him?
No,
He kind of just wandered off, like he was trailing
Yeah.
along
Yeah.
behind you, and then just kind of like did a right turn and went towards the church.
Mhm.
oh no, I was
About
I was
face,
doing
really.
that
But
was
yeah.
what me, the player, Liam, was doing. Sarah. Let's see, do we have any other business in town? I guess not,
You're
huh?
currently in the town square. There are various businesses here, some of them boarded up. But the ones that seem to be open is the shop that's currently closing next to you, the general store. But that's just being closed up for the night. There is a toy store, there is a coffin store, there is a bakery, though that appears to be closed down for the day. And there's a butcher, which is also closed down for the day. There we go.
Yes, the coffin store. That's where I want to go shopping. Um,
Well, it's a coffin maker, but it's like right there.
yeah. Do we want to wait for Kale to
You have no idea where he wandered off to at this point.
do we want to wait and find him before we go see the burgomaster?
Are we going tonight, or are we going to rest and go in the morning?
Oh yeah, maybe we should go to bed. Had kind of a journey today.
How late is it in game, Chris?
What?
How late are we?
It's evening.
Oh, yeah, okay, we can go to sleep then.
Yep, and just let me know when you're done with the sinker's tools, so I can make my own thing.
In the morning, I'm gonna use my Tinker's tools to magically create alchemist tools.
But like for now, anything else you wish to do for the evening?
like hang out in the bar while Kale goes to church.
Which is probably the last
Yep.
place you guys expected for Kale to be.
Yeah, we will never. If we wanted to find Kale, we would never find him. Yeah, I think we're just gonna chill at the bar until it's time to go to bed.
Alright.
Do the right tool for the job thing when it's my turn to do it.
After an hour, I give them to you, and you'll do what you want.
Yep, and I'll make smith's tools with those. And then when I'm done with those, I hand them back to Wave because he has the bag of holding.
Alright, so after the church service, Kale, you said you were going to borrow the brazier to
Yeah, cast Find Familiar.
Alright. And what is it you wish to type of creature do you wish to summon?
Guess pseudo dragon.
Alright. You've summoned forth a pseudo-dragon, but rather than the fey creature that you expected, you see in front of you a skeletal creature with translucent wings. It still has the general shape of a pseudo-dragon, though, but it is undead, and is immune to features that turn undead.
Kale just like stares at it and is like, he just sighs. He's just like, seriously?
The priest kind of like comes over to you and like stares for a moment, and then just kind of nods his head slowly. It is rare when anything other than something undead can be summoned into this world.
Place and not me.
It is this place.
Good to know, I guess.
You are a strong man with a strong power, yes?
He kind of shrugs and says, "Well, it's borrowed power."
I could really use your help. All of Valaki could use your help, really. But primarily my church.
Kale's just like, why do I look like I'm a nice guy or something? He's just like, what sort of help?
Recently, the bones of Saint Andrals has been taken from the crypt. They used to protect the church from intrusions such as Strahd and his minions. The church is no longer holy ground. I am afraid that I cannot protect these people if there was another attack. I know that one of my assistants, Milivoch, is most likely the culprit, but he kind of shakes his head.
I guess Kale would ask him for details, like, he's just gonna go back and dump all this stuff on the party because he knows they're goody two shoes, and we'll do it. So where
I do not think I can confront him, but perhaps you can talk to him and find out where the bones have gone.
Sure, where can I find him?
And you're basically given a general description as to where to locate this guy. But at this point, it's like, given what time it is, it's also a good stopping point for you guys to decide what you're going to do for next session. Oh wait, that's right. You are not going to be here in 2 weeks, right?
Not going to be here in 2 weeks.
All right.
Yeah,
So
I'm going to be out of town.
what we're going to do is bring Kale back, Kale into over there, and Kale is going to tell the party all of this so that, he doesn't actually have to be involved with rescuing, finding bones or helping, all that stuff. He can just sit in the inn the entire next session.
He's just like this old lady kept touching me and complaining about her son or some stuff, and then like the bones. And by the way, this place isn't safe from Strahd, so you probably don't want to leave that chick here. I'm gonna go drink. Bye.
What is that thing on your shoulder?
He points at it and he's like, "It's my familiar. Barovia just corrupts everything."
Very fascinating.
Okay.
All right. And with that, you guys learning about all the stuff that Kale picked up at the church, all these little potential quest threads that you can go on for next session. That is where we're going to stop for this week.
Chance, if I'm not busy and the Wi-Fi at the hotel is good, I might be able to at least come in for voice, but I don't know.
Yeah. No guarantees.
No guarantees.
Yeah.